Hello and welcome back to the Creatures Comedy Podcast. Today we have Chris Grace with us.
Hello, I just got off a train.
Well, thank you for, sorry, in my head all I want to say is gracing us with your presence, but like,
Sure, say it.
I did it.
I get $5 every time, which in today's society is worth 10 pence.
Yeah, none the richer.
I love that band. That was the sequel.
Yeah.
I was just walking around earlier today calculating petrol prices and what they are relative to America. And can't decide which group would be sadder.
Ooh, because you got to go liters to gallons and then pounds to dollars.
That's right.
Ooh, I don't want to do that math.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll rob my
Did you say you don't want to do that meth?
That math.
Okay.
But also that, I don't know how much meth you've been doing recently.
The picky meth guys. I don't know how to do that meth.
Yeah.
Do you have any artisanal?
I prefer the stuff. Do you have the blue crystal?
Do you have Heisenberg's?
Yeah, the Heisenberg
one.
The Heisenberg's. I like that one. I'm old fashioned that way. So
I'm train lagged, is what I'm saying.
You're train lagged. I'm festival lagged.
Oh yeah, okay.
I am every.
You said
day.
you're mid festival.
We're mid festival. We're day 5 of a 10-day festival. 3rd year doing it. We're essentially trying to grassroots a fringe festival.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so slowly this started off as like a one-room festival.
Amazing.
Last year we did 2 different venues. This year we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 5 venues.
Oh, great.
And then the whole idea is like the fringe up in Edinburgh is getting like overwhelmingly expensive.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
I kind of low-key even want to, like, I had an idea of registering these venues and doing the festival in August as fringe venues.
It's like out of town fringe venues.
Exactly, like
fringe of the fringe. Sure.
But instead, I think we'll just do it here. It's like a prelude. But it's fun because we want the idea to like people can have their own venues, run it, and just be a part of the festival. And
That's
grow
great.
It that way.
Yeah, and thank you for booking me in the right in the middle of the festival on a Monday night.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad you were able to do it.
You know when we have peak audience numbers? Monday nights.
We gave you semi-top billing. You're third up there.
Oh, I don't even know what you're looking at. Oh, wait.
There's a poster.
Oh, nice. Oh, great.
I would argue that based on letter, like numbers of letters, your name might be the biggest.
Oh, yeah. You mean like size per letter? Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, my row seems actually bigger than the rows above it.
Yeah.
I can't read. Who's above me?
Brennan Reese, Paul Foote, Rob Otten, and Catherine Bohart.
Okay, I think that's fair. Rob Otten's hilarious, and Paul Foote's hilarious. I don't know the other two, but you know, I trust if they're above me on this poster, they're better than me.
Fair enough.
Because every comic does. Whenever you do a festival, you do look at this and you're like, okay, where, what size am I? You know, I've never been this high on a poster. So,
have you not?
No.
To be fair, I did make the poster, and I didn't do it based on anything other than fitting the names in. I mean...
Yeah. Sure, that's what they say now.
Yeah. Well, okay, we were having a brief discussion before we started this podcast about just the varieties of comedy over here in the UK versus North America. Because I'm Canada, you're America, and we both come from, like, doing improv. You way more so than I. I did it through high school and college and kind of just fell into stand-up more.
I was started doing both at the same time. I've actually done stand-up about the same number of years as improv.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I have noticed that, like, my Edinburgh Fringe shows the past couple of years have been pretty theatrical, and they have narrative to them, and they're sort of dramatic. And here at Edinburgh Fringe, at least, they're just considered stand-up shows.
Yeah.
You know? And because you're a solo person doing something comedic, it might have some structure to it, but if I do that same show in America, it has to be like in a theater. I can't really like. Yeah, you wouldn't go to like a stand-up club and do your typical Fringe show. I mean, you should probably we should probably expand the audiences. But like what people saw as like Baby Reindeer, when I saw, I think it was called Monkey See, which is Richard Gadd's show that got folded into Baby Reindeer. That won the Edinburgh Comedy Award that year. You know, it was dramatic and it had this really severely heavy turn in it, but it was considered a stand-up show. And that sort of umbrella doesn't really exist in America.
Yeah, I see that. Because I remember starting stand-up in Toronto, and anybody who would ever do a show like that, it's just a one-man show.
Yeah.
That's what they think it is, and they kind of diminish it. They're like, oh, you're just not getting as many laughs.
Yeah, I think the most, I don't want to speak for Canada, but I think the most out there stand-up that I've seen that's Canadian that would still be called stand-up would be like Mark Forward.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think Mark. A couple steps more, and then they're like, it's not stand-up anymore. You know?
Yeah. Like, I guess like a Chris Lock. Like, I still consider that all stand-up. And I think it's because...
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've done... Like, I left Toronto and I started doing the Australian Fringe festivals.
Oh, cool.
So I would do like the Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, and just do that 3-month run to just avoid winter.
Yeah.
And you're just exposed to so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny when you come over here. Like, I did a gig in Liverpool. Yeah, I did a gig in Liverpool. I mean,
That is actually how they say it, yeah.
Liverpool? Paul, George, John, Ringo. This woman, Chrissy Rock, did a show right before me.
Yeah.
And it was like very funny. It was stories. It was hilarious. She sang songs. It wasn't like, you know, set up punchline, set up punchline, set up punchline, which I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in America. I think with the rise of your like Kill Tonys and with the prestige that the Comedy Cellar sort of deserves to have, I think American stand-ups have this idea of like it's got to be a certain way, or you're not really doing stand-up, which I just think is silly.
Yeah, you're almost shackled.
Yeah, I mean, why? It's if you look at the history of stand-up, you know, if you listen to like Bob Newhart's first couple albums, he's just telling weird stories, and a lot of Steve Martin stuff is like would not be recognizable as stand-up now.
Oh, 100%.
You know? So, and who is a bigger stand-up from that era than Steve Martin?
Yeah, Carlin? Is that?
But Carlin wasn't selling out arenas. I love Carlin too. I love how people today are always like, "Oh, George Carlin was the best." I would have loved George Carlin. Meanwhile, at the end of Carlin's career, he was not
selling out.
Like he was not like revered by stand-ups. You know, he wasn't. He was seen as like an old like has been kind of like by a lot of people. He was respected by a lot of people, but people today have this universal thing of like, you know who I would have been into? Bill Hicks and George Carlin. Like I would have been into all the correct stand-ups to be in.
Yeah, almost like they're martyred.
Yeah, and like I think actually you might have been into them, but you also might have been into like the guy that wore a paper bag on his head.
Yeah.
Who also heard was great, by the way. This guy, the unknown comedian. But.
Oh, 100%. Like doing the Fringe festivals, you just learn that anything can be funny, and you can go up, and as long as you're getting that laugh, like why not?
Yeah, it's funny. I almost don't agree with that, but
ooh, okay,
no,
let's go.
Because you know you've been in shows where sometimes it's like the guy who just does like easy. Yeah, it's weird because I find myself on both sides of the philosophy.
Yeah,
because there is a thing where you do a show with somebody who is just doing like old like racial street jokes and dad jokes and stuff like that, and sometimes you're just like, oh man, that's a bummer that like I already know you're getting way more laughs than I'm gonna get when I get up there. But then on the other side of it is like, you know, gatekeeping and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
I wouldn't argue that that's good what that guy's doing.
Yeah.
But I would defend that stand-up.
You would defend it. Oh yeah, for sure. That's true. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's not stand-up.
No, they're shitty stand-up. Like there's still comics who go up and do like horribly racist and sexist and homophobic jokes.
Yeah, you're talking about your own set.
Yeah. Me, come see me Saturday 5:30. No,
you get Saturday nights.
Come on! I built a comedy club and a festival. I didn't even give myself the best time.
Yeah, you did give yourself 5:30. That's the humility of a festival organizer, to give himself 5:30, not 8 o'clock.
Well, I've taken myself out of it, right? Because like running the club, I don't want to be somebody like a figurehead that people hold as a gatekeeper. Yeah, so I have somebody who does all the booking. Even with the festival, we hire producers. So like I'll oversee everything. Like I'm the Kanye West of.
Can't wait to see how this sentence ends. Wow.
Well, like in the way that like you hire people to do the right things. I don't know, Steve. I like Jewish people.
You could have picked any other leader. Who? The president, Madonna, a CEO.
A CEO. Yeah.
I'm the Steve Jobs of comedy in Manchester. I don't know.
I've been trying to get the mayor going.
Oh.
Just being called the mayor.
Oh, nice.
Like I feel like that's.
Oh, I thought you meant a town like this has a mayor, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be the mayor.
What's the name of the mayor of Manchester?
Oh, I
he's
don't know the
actually-
new. I don't. We're in.
We
between
don't have
mayors.
one at the moment.
Oh.
The mayor's just become the prime minister of the country.
Oh, Andy Burnham was
Andy
the mayor?
Burnham's
Yeah.
the mayor of Manchester.
Whoa, wow, that's a big step up.
Yeah.
Wait, and he's going to put a Downing Street here, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I heard.
He set up a base here, yeah.
Wow.
And
Oh,
then-
Manchester's about to pop.
Wow, when people get a hold of this Andy Burnham, mayor to prime minister, I think all the people are going to flood into Creatures Comedy Club. Andy Burnham was here one night.
Yeah. Oh, we could just tell people that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Andy Burnham did 10 minutes at an open mic at Creatures Comedy Club on a Tuesday at 3 a.m. at the Creatures Comedy Festival.
We don't do open mics.
You don't?
No.
Oh, because you want to pull the ladder up behind you, I see. Don't let those new kids get started. Don't give them space.
I feel like there's opportunities with open mics around in the city.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this should be like the stepping stone, right? Like I wouldn't consider us an A club. We're like a middle club. It's us and the Frog and Bucket, who's been here for 30 years, and we do everything, right? We've got the pros, that we have the top end, and then we also give opportunities to the local acts.
So you're in between, sort of like someone, you not necessarily a space for someone just starting.
Well, have you been to Toronto?
Yeah.
So
Is that where Bloor is?
yeah.
Is there a Young that's spelled Yonge?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I know about Toronto. I'll tell you what I know about Toronto. I went there because I've been to Montreal before, and I love Montreal. And I thought Toronto, and I've been to Vancouver. I love Vancouver. And I went to
Vancouver's
Toronto. I was like,
gorgeous.
oh, I can't wait to go to Toronto. I love these Canadian cities. And then Toronto was sort of like a concrete downtown that it was way more like American, like behemoth building downtown than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Like walking around.
Yeah.
Now say some nice things about Toronto.
I will rate Toronto as one of the best cities in the world.
Wow. Okay. I went to the wrong
100%.
places then.
Or it depends on what you go, and I think anytime you travel, it's who you're with, the experiences you have.
for sure.
But did you do Comedy Bar?
Yeah, I did Comedy Bar. Yes.
So I really want to envision this place as like
oh,
a
okay.
comedy bar.
I mean, that place was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
So
great.
it's not like we're not like the best comedy club. It's just that we're for everybody, right? Comedy
Yeah,
Bar.
yeah.
I actually used to run the open mic at Comedy Bar back in the day.
Right. And you were like, when I have a club, never again. I'm never letting people do.
Well, no, we've tried it, and that's when like you get the people who walk in off the street, and you get the racism, you get the weirdness.
Yeah.
And then that's when people walk out, and you get the 1-star reviews, and it's like, okay, let's just have a barrier.
No,
of entry
that's fair. Yeah.
To that.
Is Comedy Bar like a place that the kids in the hall would have done things back in the day?
100% they would have.
Oh, amazing.
But they were like Rivoli guys. Actually, the kids in the
Oh,
hall.
Rivoli, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, Toronto, the best food in the world. You can get the best food from every different culture. We've got 6 Chinatowns, included, not including a little Korea. We got little Portugal, little Italy, little Bangladesh. Like anything you want, we've got a fucking wicked version.
So
of
you're
it.
putting Toronto above the other Canadian cities too, above Vancouver for Asian food.
I would say,
The tension.
okay, I would say.
Now you're going to get canceled for this.
I would say Vancouver has better like sushi because it's by the ocean.
Okay.
So it's fresher.
Yeah.
I would say in general, there's more opportunity for better food in Toronto.
Wow. I feel like, I don't know anything about this. I feel like it's fighting words, but
Not at all. Look.
I can't wait. All the Canadian viewers,
Please,
write
watch
in,
this.
please.
I will fight you all on every
Amazing.
bit of
I
this.
love it.
Montreal is the most European city. Vancouver is the most beautiful city, and I would argue is the most Canadian city.
Vancouver is?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You know, Montreal, because Montreal is more French?
Yeah, so I'm
Oh,
from
I see.
Montreal. I'm bilingual. I speak English, French.
Very
But
well.
but like you go to Vancouver, you see casual people just in like like sweatpants and a hockey jersey. Like it feels Canadian.
Okay.
Where you go to Toronto and you're like, this is just the third biggest city in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you exclude Mexico, it's like New York, LA, then Toronto, then Chicago.
Right.
So we're just a big city.
Gotcha.
So even London, I don't think of it as England. London is its own thing.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I'm on this little tour of, I did London, then I did Brighton, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool. And last year I was in towns like Lincoln, Bristol, Bath, and I've noticed that sometimes I wake up and I'm not sure what city I'm in.
Yeah.
And I walk out on the street and I still am not sure. Except for London, because London is like its own thing.
Yeah,
like
it's a
you were saying.
behemoth. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I'm like, this city seems. I know that y'all think that they're really different from each other. Well, you're from Canada. I mean,
am
do
from
you understand the perspective I'm trying to?
Of course, 100%. I've been here long enough that they're so territorial too.
Yeah.
Like, my city's the best. But then you go there and they're like, what are you doing here?
Oh, I met people from Liverpool last night that said, if you're from Wirral,
yeah,
which,
different.
by the way, on this map, to me, I was like, that seems pretty much like it's in Liverpool.
Yeah.
They were like, you can't say you're from Liverpool if you're from Wirral, which I believe was just across a river.
if you want to go for a walk 5 minutes, there's a place called Salford, which
Oh,
isn't
yeah, I've been to
Manchester.
Salford. Yeah.
They'll be like, no, it's Salford.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Salford is where the BBC is.
Yeah. How have you been finding the UK crowds, though?
I love the crowds here, actually. I mean, I've done a lot of fringes here. And so I love doing shows in the UK. Some of the improv audiences that we've had have been the craziest, like most enthusiastic civilian improv audiences, you know, like
Like, they don't really know improv, but they're blown away by it?
yeah, like in Los Angeles and New York, a lot of times you're doing shows for either other improv students or other people that are attached to the industry somehow. It's actually pretty rare in Los Angeles to do a show just for like folks, you know?
Yeah, like punchers.
The like general audiences in the UK for that kind of thing, I think have been awesome. And then, with the stand-up crowds, it's just like sometimes figuring out from town to town, like what they will laugh at, what they won't. I mean, it's felt pretty. I mean, I'm still feeling it out, you know. But I don't know. I really love doing shows out here.
Yeah, I've kind of fallen in love with it because I feel like there's just a general sadness watched across the country.
Oh yes,
that they're like they want to laugh.
Oh my gosh! First of all. You can do a 60-minute set where you just complain about things and they eat it up. Like I noticed, like in the UK, you can have like we go to get coffee, right? Yeah. There will never be a point in that coffee or lunch where I'm complaining about something and you go like, "Hey, you know, you're complaining a lot."
Yeah.
Like it never, and then the person complains. Like I love that actually. Like there's no expectation for the comedy show to also be like sunny and cheerful.
Yeah. Though that's what I try to bring.
Yeah.
And I will force it down their fucking
throats.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of Americans here are seen as just like the most vacuous, extroverted, you know, like saccharine, superficially cheerful people. And that's also what I think of other Americans. So like, I love not having that pressure to be like a positive influence on the world.
Yeah. I like being a positive influence in a place where people aren't positive.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because then you're butting up against it.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it work? Do they go along with it?
In the cities, most of the time. I've gone to smaller towns where they just don't trust it. They just don't like it. Just the tone of my voice, they tune out.
You know what's fun is like, no matter how bad your show is going over here, I noticed that you can just have the tech booth put on like 500 miles and just get the audience to sing. And there's no like cringe resistance. They just do it.
Yeah.
Like that I think is amazing. I don't think I could do that in America.
They do love a sing-along over
here.
They
love a sing-along. Yeah. I mean, I love the culture here. Last year I was here for almost 3 months. And
wow.
And this year I'm going to be here 2 months. And by the end of the 3 months, I live in Los Angeles. I was a little bit like, I do miss the sun at a certain point.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
But you're doing the summers out here.
I'm doing the summer. Hey, I brought the heat wave. I brought a heat wave in the first week of my tour. I was in travel lodges that had no air conditioning.
Yeah, they don't got that here.
Oh. But tonight I'm in a Premier Inn.
Ooh,
fancy. So I'm cranking that 19
yourself.
degrees Celsius, which I had to look up what that was. I was like, this isn't cold enough. And then it was like 66 actually. It's great.
Yeah. But, well, I just... Yeah, I don't know. The winters here are abysmal. It gets dark at like 3 and it's gray. And especially Manchester, the clouds are like 2 feet above your head.
Right.
So it just really just beats you down. Everything's always wet and slick. And
But then do people go indoors for comedy shows? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Like a lot.
Wait, that's true of like Chicago. That's true of a lot of, I mean, how's it in Toronto? Like when it gets cold, people go to be in places with people.
And in the summer, it's so hard to get people in.
Yeah. I mean, I've done shows in like Chicago and Minnesota in the summer.
Yeah.
And you can't, people are picnicking at the lake.
Of course. You can't compete with the outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially so when the heat wave hit, we had the heat wave and the World Cup, and it was like,
yeah.
Do we even open?
I think that's why for comedy, it's actually good to be pro climate change because the more unbearable it gets outside, the people have to go inside to have shows.
Exactly.
Yeah, so-
even though with climate change, Manchester's getting really nice.
Oh, right.
Because it was shitty, and now the sun's coming.
Actually, that's true. Like 5 years from now, if the UK is just this like balmy, like sunny 9 months of the year.
Exactly.
And Los Angeles has the crust of the California has sunk into the
Oh
water.
yeah, it's gonna be Escape from LA. It's
yeah.
just gonna flip.
We're all going to move here then.
Please do.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about moving over here?
I thought about moving here around November 2016 and about November 2024. Those are the two times I thought about moving here. I don't know, just real specific couple times.
Yeah, the only 2 times you've tried Greg's.
Yeah. I've thought about moving here. I could definitely see myself living here. I love doing comedy here. I love doing shows. It's mostly just a factor of like, I think about the paperwork involved, and then I start to fall asleep. But I don't know. I love it.
It's also so nice to be able to travel with just a work visa. And then you get the benefit of like living out here for a couple months.
Yeah.
Like that's why like I don't think I'd ever live in Australia because for the rest of my life I can just go do a couple months.
Right. I mean, the problem is that, and this is the thing I've heard about that, the more you travel, the sort of like more unsatisfied you are with wherever you are because you want the best elements of all the places you've been. Like I love being out here, and I don't know why people say this. I love the food in the UK. I love the grocery stores here. I love so much about living here. I fucking hate the washers and dryers. I hate the plumbing. And it's such a small factor, but after a while you start to be like, man, I wish I was in Los Angeles driving my car and with my own washer and dryer that doesn't take 10 hours to dry my clothes to a somewhat damp state. And I know it's like that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme. It wouldn't keep me from moving here, but in the end, you end up being like, okay, I wish I had this. I wish I had the nice weather from Los Angeles. I wish I had the culture from London. I wish I could pay to see shows on the West End instead of Broadway because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I wish we had like cafes from France.
And just the ability to jump over to Europe.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing too. Like that's another thing is the distances here are so modest.
Yeah.
Compared, I went to see a friend the other day. I was in Birmingham, and I took a train to Derby to have lunch with my friend. And my friend was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. It's so far." It was a 30-minute train ride. I was just like, "This is genuinely nothing to me." But yeah, like the idea that you could drive from one side of the country to the other in 4 hours, or fly to France, or Amsterdam or whatever, so easily. But I can fly from California to Arizona.
Ooh, want to see that Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I could go to Jacksonville, Florida whenever I want.
But so you said that you like 2016, 2024. So have you been coming to do like the Edinburgh Fringe for what 10 years now?
No, this is my 13th Fringe. I'm about to go.
13th Fringe?
13th. So first one was 2012.
What?
I only missed 2020, 2021. I think they were back in 22. I was back whenever the first one back after COVID was.
Oh no way!
But I've done.
Are you doing solo shows and stuff?
I've done solo shows. This year will be my 4th solo show. So I've done improv shows. I've produced musicals. I've been in plays. I've done almost every other thing. And then about 4 years ago, I started doing. The first 2 were like solo theater shows. Yeah. Last year was an experiment, which was great. And then this year is pretty much a stand-up show.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So I did it for because I was doing the Australian ones. I did Edinburgh for about 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 6-7 years actually. But then after the pandemic, I did one, and then I was kind of like,
yeah,
I'm tired of it.
I mean, the logistics and the financials are pretty insane at this point. I'm really lucky because I get to go with this show called Baby Wants Candy, which essentially I live with the rest of the cast. I don't have to think about my own. I pay for my lodging, but I don't have to arrange it. So I have a real privilege in that I'm able to go with a show that's really successful already. And then because of that, I've been there for over a decade. So I have some following there in terms of the solo shows, which has been really interesting because on the tour, that following, I have a decent, sales are pretty good in Edinburgh. It has not applied to any other town. There are a couple of towns along this tour were almost canceled because of a lack of interest.
Oh, no.
And then, but I don't know if you found this, the last 48 hours, suddenly a bunch of people buy tickets. I don't know if that's been true.
Oh, a lot of people buy last minute tickets.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of insane. It makes you insane, though.
Because
it's so stressful, trying to plan things, you know?
Yeah. Last week I saw all your tickets spike.
Yeah.
You're really good with like the videos and pushing it.
I
think like that it genuinely helped.
Well, I'll say I'm friends with Gianmarco Cerezi, and he is somebody that we were talking about before the recording about Josh Johnson. I would say Gianmarco Cerezi and Josh Johnson are the people I would suggest any stand-up look at. You don't have to emulate them, but look at what they're doing in terms of like their careers. And Gianmarco is so savvy about his approach to social media and just having a presence that like generates interest and ticket sales, and he has the material to back it up.
Yeah.
But like there is this investment of time. Like it's so tedious to record your set, edit the clips that were good from it. Like it is unbearable, but like it does turn into like followings.
Well, it has to be a thing that you grind on yourself for a bit, and
Yeah.
then you have to hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way to sustain
It's hard.
that.
That jump is hard though, because like it's
It is.
expensive.
You have to hire a full-time person.
Yeah, it's expensive, and I'm not at that point yet. I'm still in Final Cut Pro myself, like editing things. And I genuinely, when I try to edit a set into clips, I fall asleep at the desk.
Do you?
Yes. I like literally start to fall asleep because it's so boring. And I know I should hire someone because there's someone out there that loves doing that, you know? Maybe. You don't think anyone loves editing?
I think there's people who get into wanting to edit stand-up clips and they love it at first.
Yeah.
And then they see the repetitiveness of it, and then it's the searching for clips.
Yeah.
That's the hardest
What do y'all
thing.
do for clips here? Do you have like a setup and you just make Brett do it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Can I make Brett do the editing on my clips? Brett,
For money?
Are you, yeah. I'll pay you, Brett. Sure.
But I always find, for me, because like during the pandemic is when I really got pushing into my clips.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do is the second you get off stage, you know what can be
Oh,
clipped.
right.
Clip it right away. Even if
makes
you don't
sense.
caption it, clip it, put it in a folder to then caption.
Yeah. Unfortunately, now, if you want to be a stand-up comic, you also have to be a small business owner.
100%. But that's why I started this place. So
Yeah.
then I can generate income to hire a full-time videographer.
Right.
Now I don't have to worry about paying somebody to do a podcast, to shoot clips, anything like that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, now, what do you say, though, to like an individual comic who doesn't have this business to sort of generate that income? Presumably, they probably have like a day job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to think in your head what's more valuable, doing it yourself or giving money to have somebody do it properly.
Yeah. I think that jump is hard, though, because at the beginning, you're not making much money doing stand-up. So, like, then you're taking money from maybe your day job to do this, which is tough. Like,
Yeah, because then it becomes an investment in you.
yeah. But unfortunately, clubs, when you're getting booked and stuff, a lot of clubs do look at how many followers you have, and they look at your views and stuff like that.
I also think it's the responsibility of every club to just get like a proper camera setup.
Yeah, I think that's
so
true.
then just give people their footage.
I will say that in Los Angeles, like Dynasty Typewriter and the Elysian have sort of also, and UCB as well, they are live performance spaces, but they are also pretty aggressively providing live streams of their comedy shows.
Yeah.
And I know at Dynasty Typewriter, they see themselves almost like as a studio, you know, to generate like, you know, you can't come to Los Angeles to see this improv show with these people from television, but you can pay $8 and watch the live stream of it, you know? And so like the capabilities of these clubs they've really leveled them up over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think the pandemic really helped that, of people going, okay.
I think the pandemic was overall quite helpful, is what I just heard.
I think for a lot of performers, you kind of went in and you're like, okay, how do I future-proof myself?
Yeah.
And a lot of people who, you know, were actively working at that time developed other skills.
Yeah, I mean, you had to.
Of course. Did you do any of the Zoom shows?
I did a few Zoom improv shows, and I did a few
did that
Zoom
go?
not well. I did a few Zoom musical improv shows,
Yeah.
which is absolutely like
Stop, you did musical improv as well. That's tough.
Yeah, where the piano player was on the other side of a connection. And so then I watched back. By the way, they were received well. I think because during the pandemic, people would take anything they could get.
Yeah.
But I watched back a screen recording of it. I was like, this is absolutely unbearable. We are all exactly one beat off of where the piano is. So like every single one of these songs sounds like you're going insane.
Did you train with UCB?
I did stuff at a theater in New York, and then I did a little bit of UCB. I sort of came up on the side of UCB, but when I got out to LA, I had friends that were sort of entrenched in UCB, and I got into the musical improv shows there. And then this whole time, I'd also been part of Baby Wants Candy, which is a group from Chicago, which has been going for years and years. So yeah, that's sort of where it came from.
Did you guys ever do Spank in Edinburgh?
You mean the 50 Shades?
No. So Spank was like a late night comedy show at Underbelly.
Oh no, I don't think I've ever done this. I was mishearing because Spank at UCB is the thing. Like, if you want to pitch a show, it's called Spank at UCB. No, I don't think I ever did Spank at Underbelly.
Okay, I co-hosted their like late night show.
Oh, okay.
In like on the Cowgate. So because like if you've been there for that long, you must have.
Yeah, we must have crossed paths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you find are you talking to a lot of the stand-ups in this community as they go from as they try to go from one level to the next? Like, is that a thing you're talking about with people a lot these days?
Yeah. So when you're going from just being a stand-up to then trying to build your brand, build your personality.
You're trying to get I assume here you're trying to do road gigs around the country, right?
Yeah.
Like driving to places. I mean, it's very interesting to me here the sort of gigging mentality people have here of they'll drive to other towns and do little gigs and stuff. And because of the physical distances, it seems more feasible.
So much more feasible.
You know?
It's essentially if you're in London, you're doing London plus the bottom half of the country.
Yeah.
But if you're in Manchester, you're essentially in the middle. So you can be booting down, you could be going up to Scotland.
Yeah.
But everywhere's kind of got its regions.
Yeah. So what are you telling to the stand-ups who are maybe doing some of those road gigs, but they want to get to where they're headlining a club, or they're doing Fringe and they're having their own show at Fringe,
Yeah. I think the only advice that I really try to hit home with people is just put in the work. Just get up as much as you can.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
No. It just sounds daunting.
It does sound daunting, but that was the school I came from of just get on stage as much as humanly possible. That's what the Toronto scene was for us, was just an absolute gym.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people try to make the jump too quick here.
That's true. I mean, one thing about the social media stuff and the videos is that sometimes you are sort of putting your cart before the horse, because you can put up a video and get 500,000 people to view it, and you could probably sell 40 tickets to your next show locally, right? And then, but you have to do an hour.
I also disagree with that, though.
Which part?
I think, it took me a while to come to this realization, but I think just put everything out. Put everything out online.
Oh, no. Yeah, but I agree with that.
But have a video go popular. If you can get popular and famous, even before you're funny enough for that crowd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do it.
We do disagree about this.
Yeah, but how much better is it to learn in front of nobody, in front of people, than in front of nobody? You're going to learn way quicker in front of people who want to see you.
Actually, you know what? You persuaded me. No, what I will say is that I do. So the risk would be that you're in front of venues before you need to be, right?
Sure, and you're alienating
but I
your
would just
crowd.
counter myself, right? Which is that actually nobody really cares.
Nobody
So
cares.
if you get booked at a giant club before you should, correct, whatever that means, right? And you bomb, people are just on to the next thing. I actually think with material too, because people post crowd work stuff, right? And that came from, I don't want to post my material because whatever, right? I actually don't think that matters either. I have now material clips posted, and it's not like when I do the show and I do that joke again, people are like, "Oh, boo! I saw this already."
I also think you should be posting the same jokes from different clubs.
Yeah, I've seen that. I haven't done that yet, but yeah, I see that.
Because why not? Especially if it's a clip that's done well.
Well, it's also because of the way that the algorithms are served now.
Yeah.
You are most often getting served to somebody who's not even following you. So they haven't seen the other clips. I got really, there's a thing with my Instagram where, I posted 6 videos 3 weeks ago that were one for each city on this tour that were hey, I'm coming to your town, blah, blah. And because of this quirk of the way my Instagram was set up, I couldn't post them as hidden reels and then boost them as ads, right?
Okay.
I had to post them as on the feed,
grid.
which meant that 6 videos in a row on my reels were hey, what's up, Birmingham? What's up, Manchester? And no one gives a shit because no one is looking at your 6 reels in a row.
No.
People barely go to your profile at all. And you could have thousands of followers and post a bunch of times. And then I'll have somebody show up the day I'm leaving Liverpool. someone who follows me on Instagram will be like, "Oh, are you doing a show here?" And I'm like, "Fuck you," you know.
It's because when you're in the city now, it starts showing to them.
Yeah, it's just like I do think this idea of curating this sort of perfect Instagram or Facebook or whatever, it's like it just doesn't even matter anymore.
No, just spam it. But with improv, you must have just all of the content. Because you're constantly just creating brand new stuff.
Well, I'm like the groups that I'm in for improv, it doesn't really
translate because it's
not that useful for me to promote my solo shows. Because if I take a scene that we did in a show and I'm like, look how funny this is, and then people are like, oh, you did that show with some famous people, and then I'm like, yeah, well, this show's just me, you know. I don't know.
But
I don't.
Profile, no?
I think you might be right, but like I just haven't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I'll try it. I'll try whatever you tell me to do. As the mayor of Manchester comedy,
I don't want it to be of comedy, just general mayorness.
oh. So you want to replace Andy
I
Burnham?
don't want to be. I want to be the mayor of my realm.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I gotta stop telling people this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all. The other thing is that sometimes I don't really. I'm hesitant to even say things about the industry sometimes because it feels like every 3 months it's changing. You know.
Yeah, it's changing. It's growing, but you just have to be. I think there's a couple of things that need to happen. You need to be having fun.
Yeah.
And you need to be creating from a place of like joy and passion. Because it's so hard to get, like, when you're overwhelmed and you get stressed, don't work in those, like, take yourself back, ground yourself, and then just come at it with fresh eyes. Like, even if you need to take a break, and then get back into the habit and the rhythm. And it's just about building those, like, read the not the art of war, the war of art.
Oh yeah, I love it. Stephen Pressfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I do if I'm not doing any of those three things?
Any of the three things?
I'm not having fun, doing it with joy, or I think I think there's something. I agree that you should grind, like you should do the work, right? I think sometimes people underestimate how unpleasant it is when a set doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's this romanticism around stand-up that's just like, just get up there 5 times a night. You need to bomb, and then you figure out how you're funny. It's like, it really sucks. And it can, if you bomb too much, like if you bomb too hard, it can send you away for like a year sometimes.
I've never had that.
Oh, I had that once. I bombed.
A year?
I bombed early on in my career. I bombed at Brooklyn Lesbian Pride.
No.
Yeah, and
How many lesbians?
A lot. And I had been going pretty well for this is early.
Yeah.
Like I've been going along pretty well a couple times a week doing stand up, feeling confident about my jokes for about 9 months. And then this was my first paid. This is my actual first paid stand up gig. I got paid $25 to do a bar show at Brooklyn Pride. And it went so poorly that I went back into my shell of my day job as a web developer for over a year. And it wasn't like I had such a bad set. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm quitting or whatever. It was just when you're doing a lot of sets, there's this momentum you have of like, get up again. And then when you stop doing a lot of sets, there's an equal momentum and inertia of just like, okay, well, I'm not going to, you know what? I got too much going on this week. I'm not going to try to get out this week. I'll do it next week and then the next week. And the longer that goes, the harder it is to get back for that first set again.
I can see that.
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Because when I was first starting, it's like, if you have a bad set, you just have to put it out of your head, go to the next show, and get back on stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I love Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Because, it doesn't matter how well or poorly a show goes, you have another one in 24 hours.
100%.
Yeah.
So would you say that was, I guess that's one of the most career-defining sets that you did for the...
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
If that's a way to look at it.
Yeah, a career changing. Yeah, it did. It set me off course for a little while.
But then it took you out of stand-up, but not out of improv.
No, I was doing it. Well, I mean, improv is like...
Because that's so good that you have
But also,
both to be
improv
able
is
to
all
do.
your buddies, you know? Like, it's fun.
I know, it's so
You know,
fun.
improv is so fun. And actually, what's crazy now is in the last 5 years, we have this renaissance now where actually, long-form improv shows are going to large venues and selling them out. And it's improv lived under this, I think, myth that it was like, well, this kind of improv we're doing, it's never really going to be a commercial thing. It's really for the art, you know. We're living by the principles of Del Close, and this is why when we sell tickets to an improv show at our improv theater, we're not going to pay you anything because you're doing it for the art. And meanwhile, stand-ups are just like, what the fuck? What do you mean you're doing it for nothing? So it's been amazing through like Ben Schwartz and other folks of like popularizing the concept of doing improv and kind of like all it took was to just sort of educate audiences a little bit about what kind of show it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know? And this transition from a lot of audiences' notion of what improv was Whose Line, which is a great thing. But different from a house team from UCB trying to do a show like in the middle of America to people that don't know what it is. All it took was people just to be like, to see a couple good shows and be like, oh yeah, I do like this. Because it's like, we weren't fooling ourselves that it was funny, you know, and we weren't such a like highfalutin kind of art form that like a regular person from Iowa couldn't understand this sophisticated improv we were doing. Like most of our improv was still about, you know, fart jokes or whatever, you know?
Of course, but it's also like jazz, right? Most people will like jazz if you take them to see it.
Yeah.
Because jazz done properly is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And like, I was excited so 2 nights ago, went to go see Comedy Bang Bang, which was here. So it was interesting to see a British crowd take that in.
Oh, and how was it?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like so good.
Did you notice differences though, or?
Like notice differences?
Like,
in
and how the
they
British
laugh?
crowd, yeah, like.
Well, because I think improv, like, there is a rooted history here, but they're not really exposed to it as much.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it is starting to tour theaters and stuff.
It over here, improv does feel very North American. Like it feels like
especially London.
I feel like it's taken as sort of this like brash, like outgoing, high energy thing here in a way. And like Baby Once Came, that's definitely the energy we have.
Yeah.
And I think there is some value in the shows that we bring in that they are not trying to be particularly like clever or like we're not trying to do like Cambridge, Oxford, Footlights or whatever, smart. I mean, this sounds terrible. We're not trying to do like smart comedy necessarily. I don't know. I think in the landscape of comedy over here, I think American shows will kind of stand out, and obviously Canada. Like I don't know if you did Keith Johnstone stuff or whatever, but like the history of improv from Canada through Chicago through America is like. I still think a kind of signature kind of improv that when I see improv teams that are sort of homegrown in the UK, they don't have that same. They just have a different vibe. I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're mainly like I think North American teams are more chaotic. And willing to be like chaotic.
Yeah, insane.
And not necessarily wanting to create like a properly good show. Come to see our shows. They're chaotic and not good.
Oh, you're making me miss improv so much.
Well, that's why this venue will start an improv jam at 3 a.m.
Like when we were designing the stage, we're like, it needs to be big enough for like a small improv team.
Ah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's like
you can just
3
do
people.
sidelines here. That's right. Has there been an improv show here?
Yeah, so me and a buddy, Kevin Finn, did a duo improv for about like a 6-month run.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was so fun because both of us came from Humber College in Toronto, which is like a comedy school. And improv's a part of that. I feel like it kind of actually beat improv out of me going to that school.
Oh.
Because so in Canada, I don't know if it's the same in the States. We've got the Canadian improv games. So you know how there's like intramural sports?
Oh.
Where you can play like basketball or
I think the
football.
closest thing we have is we have Comedy Sports High School League.
Yeah.
Are you like
competing against other high
competing?
schools?
Yeah.
Like across the country. And it's so fun. You're
became-
representing your school, your city.
Who's judging? Or is it the audience like response?
There's I guess the audience response, but there are like,
Oh, cool.
judges who are like, I guess, more seasoned improvisers.
Manchester Improv League?
Yeah, there is some here, but again, it's so small.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, gotta find out. So, what do you prefer doing, stand-up or improv? Or is it just all?
Improv is...
And would you say that like the most chaotic shows that you do would be the improv then?
Probably. I don't know. Improv is easier. The logistics of it are at this point, right? Because like, and that's because I am never ever producing or starting improv shows. I'm a person now that just like sits in on improv shows, which means someone else has organized it, someone else is responsible for the money. And so improv is just like a joy because it's like you just show up, no preparation, you see 5 of the coolest people that you know, and you do literally the dumbest shit for 30 minutes to an hour, right? And then you walk out. And stand-up feels like a much more personal expression of like who I am in the world. And I think a struggle that I had for a while was that like because of like getting sidelined and because improv was a much more social thing. And like when you're growing up in your 20s and 30s, like it's just more tempting sometimes to go like, let's just go do some improv with the people that you like, right? And then we'll go get food afterwards and hang out, right? And stand-up can feel very solitary. Because of that, I think I got to a point where I just felt a lot funnier in improv shows than I did in my stand-up. And that was really hard for, I'd say, 5 years. Yeah. Because I was at a point at Upright Citizens or other places where I could get on a show for improv for a great audience to a sold-out crowd. Like, it's not that hard, right? Like, because, I don't know, you've done it long enough. And so in that form, improv means you get to go out and just like off the top of your head, just open up the top of your skull and like show what's going on in your brain and people enjoy it, right? And there was a period there where I couldn't get that same feeling in stand-up. Yeah. And it's a question of like, oh, are you more suited for one versus the other? But really, it was probably just hours put in, because that sense of freedom and chaos and being personal and vulnerable is the stuff I'm trying to do in the stand-up, and it just took me longer to get there. Now I think if I only could do one, I would only do the solo stand-up / solo theater performances because they do feel more like impactful for me.
Yeah, more personal.
Like I have more people that are like moved or like thought-provoked by like things I do in the solo performances than I do for improv. But luckily, I don't ever have to give up one, I don't think.
Of course. No, that's beautiful.
Unless the mayor is passing a law.
Well, the idea of being able to like, open up your head and just be exactly who you are, how did you find, like, did you use any of the the things that you've learned through improv into influencing your stand-up?
I think the main thing is that in improv, you are like so attentive at a granular level at all times as to what is going on in the room, right? You're very exposed and cognizant of the heat and weight of every single microsecond that's happening in an improv show, because every little thing that your scene partner does or the audience does, or like this fire alarm 3 buildings away goes off, your radar for what's going on in terms of input just gets so fine-tuned that I think all of that is highly applicable to stand-up. Because in a way, the stand-up shows are sort of like, I'm doing stand-up, the audience is my scene partner, and we're just they just don't have very many lines. But like that same attention to every moment that like feels fresh and present, like I feel like that is the most exciting thing about stand-up.
Yeah.
Because...
But I would have also thought that like it leans itself more into crowd work.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's how I apply
I think it leans that way in terms of that, like, being calm, being present. And because what happens is, I think when people are first starting to do crowd work, I think a lot of times you could listen back to them and be like, oh, I should have asked about this. And a lot of that is because, and I felt this too, a lot of times you're concerned about like, how long am I going to stay in this crowd work bit? What is the next bit I'm trying to get to? You get more forward thinking or like past thinking about, oh, I shouldn't have said that or whatever. I should have talked to this person instead. And those things tend to blot out your natural unconscious mind's ability to like just think of funny things to say. Yeah. So the more that I think is the thing from improv that is most applicable is just like staying present in that moment. Because if you and I are just having a conversation, we'll both think of just funny things to say. But if we have a conversation, then we say like, oh, by the way, like this building is closing in 5 minutes, and like you've got something hanging on you. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, how much time do I have left? Like, is the club owner, do they like me doing this? Do they not like crowd work? What do the other comics think of me doing this? Kind of like all these externalities, right? Tend to like cloud your creative brain, I think.
Yeah.
I need to go back and read War of Art again. I'm sure he talks about crowd work in there.
Yeah.
All I know is Stephen Press, he's great. He's a great writer. He's great. But every other book, he just talks about golf, or like some war history thing. Like he's written a lot of books about like the history of like
I didn't even realize.
like very small military engagements. And then he writes like this world-changing book about art. And then he wrote the book about golf, Bagger Vance.
He wrote Bagger Vance.
He wrote Legend of
so
Bagger
funny.
Vance.
Well, my favorite thing about like the art of war, the War of Art, is just being able to read a couple pages and feeling so motivated that you just put it down. Like that's how I treat it.
I do think you should read that if you're that thing. Okay, like you don't have like people trying to get into comedy.
Yeah,
they'll have this thing where they're like, "Oh, I'll go do an open mic, but I have to make sure I write the exact perfect thing." And the book, like everything that turns up as resistance. To like that moment. And I think that book is a really good thing at dissolving resistance because you're just like, yeah, I just have to get up and do it.
Just get up and do it.
I think that stand-ups overrate the quality of writing and things you can do with your brain to protect yourself from the dangers of stand-up. Like,
and then improvisers do the complete opposite.
Probably. Improvisers are not using their brains at all. But I think...
Well, you guys have to write things to be funny?
Yeah. But like, I think stand-ups sometimes are like overly... Yes, of course you should try to write good material. Yeah. But like, that isn't all it is. Like, we can take the best set you've ever heard, type it on a piece of paper, and give it to you, to a crowd who has never seen anyone do this material. And you can't deliver it the same way. There's like all these like muscle memory and like just non-verbal things that go in it. Like so much of it is about like, as a performer, can you maintain the power dynamic between you and the audience where like they never see you sweat in terms of like, we're worried for you now because like that joke didn't go as well as it should. And so now you visibly have been distressed about the fact that or you're getting angry at us, or maybe like, I enjoyed that joke actually. I just didn't laugh out loud. And now you're yelling at me because I'm not laughing loud enough. And now I'm in this weird position where like, I can't feel free to enjoy the show anymore. And like, I feel like these lessons, to your point, like can only be learned by like getting up.
Yeah. Also, to further elaborate on that, is like, I also think to be the most well-versed performer, you need to be doing all the different pillars of comedy. Like, even if you want to be a stand-up, try improv, try sketch, do a little clown. Just
I was gonna say clown. Yeah, got to get in there.
Do these workshops because you will take something from each and every one of those places.
I've done 2 clown workshops.
With who?
One with Dr. Brown.
Oh yeah, love Dr. Brown.
And then last year, Mark Vigent, who did the show called The Best Man Show, came to my Edinburgh Fringe show last year, and for 1 hour in front of my an audience, he basically did a workshop where he coached me on how to develop a clown bit in front. Oh God, it's so unbearable. It was the most uncomfortable I've been in such a long time.
Yeah.
Like it was because I think clown is the most exposed you can be. I think that might be a bridge too far for me, but it was very fun to do it.
Also, look, I did Canadian clown.
Okay.
Which is very different than all the Gaulier kids.
Okay.
Gaulier comes from this like, I feel like evil, mean clown world.
Right.
Because like I've done a workshop.
Who's the sort of icon of Canadian clown?
So I did it with Mike Kennard, who's a clown. Who's in Mump and Smoot. But
none of those words made sense.
Well, they have like, so he taught at Humber College, but they do like this like big workshop over the summers, like summer intensives at like a cottage, which I really do want to go do. But it feels way more positive. And it's all about like relying on impulse. And yeah, it is exposing, but it is so freeing because like imagine being able to like, lift your head off and then just completely rip it off and throw it across the room.
What was interesting to me in the clown work, because that sounds the vibe was, and I liked the workshops that I did. I will say that my experiences with clown have not been like safety is like your like it's a safe space for you to try positive, like it's felt dangerous, it's felt very risky, and that's kind of thrilling about it because when you see a really good clown, they are like sometimes doing shit and you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Sometimes like, is that audience member okay with what you're doing to them? My whole perception of clown has been very on the like scary side.
Yeah.
But that's also why I did it, because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, of course. And that's so cool that you're able to do one just during your show. Like, that's the
Well,
French.
I
love
sort
that.
of raised the risk profile of it. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's not like I'm just like I in the last couple of years, a lot of my philosophy has just been like, if it scares me, I'll do it, and like if it scares me to do it in front of an audience, I will do it even more.
Yeah.
And people do seem to like that. I think a lot of times people like it because it's like, oh, I'm glad it's you up there, not me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Would you say like that was one of the scariest things that you've done on stage?
That is definitely one of them. Yeah, I would say my show this year is some of the scariest stuff that I've done as well.
What's it about?
It's basically about how can you get along with people when you disagree on a couple things, you know?
Okay.
And when those things feel very important to you, should you purge those people out of your life, or should you find a way to still exist with them? That's sort of what it's about. Because I feel every day we're confronted with, you had your favorite person or the artist that you really liked, and then it turns out that they, you know, have a particular opinion about something.
Kanye.
Yeah,
Full circle.
Kanye's just got those little opinions. I was gonna say like a John Cleese type situation, right? But yeah, like I think a lot of people are challenged by this now. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm just trying to talk about it and try to find something funny in it.
No, that's great.
You know, I also feel like some of us don't have the luxury of purging everybody that we don't totally agree with out of our lives. You know, I like made a list of like all the people that have like really believed in me in comedy or acting or theater or whatever. People that like saw me when no one else really did, and they put me in something, raised my profile, or got me to work with other people. And across the board, it was like 7 people over the course of my career that have like helped sort of raise me up. All 7 of them were straight white guys.
Okay.
So I'm just saying I'm embracing straight white men.
You heard it here.
For the sake of my career. But like, it's just a factor of the power dynamic in like America or whatever, right? Like if you're a marginalized person, there is not an industry in America that you could rise to the top of without going through a straight white man gatekeeper. You know, like, or I'll put it this way. There's no industry where you could go and never have to go through a gatekeeper that didn't look like you or that wasn't your tribe or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you were born a straight white dude and you wanted to become a CEO of like an oil company, it's not unlikely that you could rise to become that CEO, and the people that make the decisions about whether you got promoted or whatever, you could have just seen people that looked like you the whole time.
Yeah.
And when you're not in that class, like you have to figure out how to navigate spaces where you're like not the default, right? And part of that, I think, is also if one of those guys says something that like I just don't agree with, or you know, I don't necessarily have the luxury to be like, okay, well then I'm just not going to work for your oil company anymore. I'll go start my own petroleum company. And so that, I mean, that's what the show is about.
Which is hard, yeah. No, that's
starting
great.
a petroleum company I've tried it. It's hard.
Have
You have to have an oil well, which I didn't know.
You mean I got to bring my own oil?
Yeah, I can just do a consignment shop of oil. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. And like, there's moments you'll see tonight. Yeah. There's moments in my show where I fail to make anyone laugh, and like it's been really interesting to just like sit in those moments.
Yeah.
And I have this belief that like, when you're confident in your own ability to like be funny, you can have this confidence that you will find these moments eventually, but to the point of like working really hard, you have to kind of go through moments where it's like, oh, this moment right now is just not working. And I've been trying to, instead of saving the moment or going to some other scripted joke that I know will do well, I've been trying to like sort of sit through those moments and see what happens on the other side, which means tonight there will be a 45-minute long silent gap in the middle where it'll just be me sitting in that moment and people just wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
No, I would love that. That would be my Fringe show next year.
But I think it's so powerful to be able to do that, right? Because, you know, stand-up doesn't have to be the set a punch.
Yeah,
like, you have the points. it resonates with people more. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about Rob Otten. Like,
Yeah.
the way he performs, he takes people on such a journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be able to let people sit in those moments. And then you also need to sit in that moment, because the more present and grounded you are is where you can find the funny.
I mean, people talk about paying their dues. Like that, those moments are kind of where you pay your dues.
Yeah.
like those moments of what kind of comedian am I that's different from everybody else? And like a lot of times in those failure moments is when you figure it out, because your brain's going to go somewhere that isn't like everybody else's. And I think the more you push yourself to like find those nooks and crannies where you're like, you're I don't know, because I think we could probably sit down and write 20 topical jokes for tonight. And please, let's do that. Because I got 20 minutes that's empty in tonight's
Andy
show.
Burnham, Mayor.
Yeah, Andy Burnham. But if we stick too much to like tropes or like comedy structures that are common between us, it might not serve us to find our own individual thing. The thing that like when you go from gigging at like road gigs and stuff to where, oh, I need to see them because of that specific thing that they do. Because like almost everybody, you know, George Carlin or whoever that you see as like iconic, they do something that nobody else does, whatever it is. And like that's why you go see that person.
Beautiful. I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
It's so fun. Look, I want to end it right on that, because I think it's such a beautiful way to like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see your show.
Oh my God, it's gonna fucking suck.
No, because like hearing your opinion on comedy and the way it like flows and goes. And
Yeah, I can't wait until you see the show and you're just like, what the hell was?
Oh yeah, he didn't actually forgive those straight white men.
Right. He really talks the talk, but did not walk. It was just like puns for an hour.
Yeah.
I would love that.
You put a fake mustache on top of your mustache.
Yeah. I love that.
That's cool, man. I'm glad. Thank you for coming on and doing the podcast.
Yeah, I'm so
Thank you for
excited.
sitting with us.
Thanks, Brett, for editing this later.
Thank you, Brett. Anything else? Go see Chris in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.